Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Los Alamitos Racecourse here on Tuesday. It's the 4th of July, 2023. Gonna look at the ninth race from Los Al, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean around the world. Join me this upcoming Saturday for my Belmont Derby preview. Also in the UK, you have the Eclipse, which is a very good mile and a quarter older horse division race at Sandown. And Sunday in France, you have the good Group 1 racing at Deauville starting to heat up. So join me for that. Next week or so, you have some great racing in the in France. So, next week on Bastille Day, you have the Grand Prix de Paris. So join me for those races. But this ninth race, it's a very good race. And, out of all the races Los Al have taken over from the old Hollywood Park meeting, there are two races that stand out that have always been good run races, and the horses always come out of them decently. One of them's the Los Al Futurity, and the other one is the Great Lady M. It's so it's always a good race, and it still has its grade, which is not bad at all. The ninth race from Los Alamitos, it's the Great Lady M Stakes. It's a Grade 2 event going for a $200,000 purse. Race for fillies, mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 9 horses going 1,300 meters or 6.5 furlongs on the Los Alamitos main track. I'm going to take as a top selection the 7-horse Awake at Midnight. 7-2-8-1 for me in the superfecta. 7-2-8-1 super. Top selection 7-horse Awake at Midnight. 4-year filly by Nyquist. Doug O'Neill trains. Mario Gutierrez gets the mount. The horse's most recent appearance came 3 months ago on the 8th of April at Santa Anita. 6.5 off the turf in the Grade 3 Monrovia, and he finished 4th by 2 lengths that day. They tried going on grass for the first time. It was a little bit of a lesser spot, or first time in grass in a while, but it got rain to the turf. Well, actually, rain to the turf. That was right after the I was saying Anita Derby card where the horse in the Whittingham actually fell around the clubhouse turn or the far turn, something like that. So they moved the race at the last minutes to the dirt where she ran okay, but she still needs something. I think with a stronger pace than this one going 6.5, I think she could get a trip to win. I think the longer stretch at Los Al should suit her well. 2 back in the Beholder Mile at Santa Anita, 1 mile on the 11th of March, a race that's been very nicely run this year. She finished 6 by 6 lengths that day. She just got beat by better horses. I don't think she wanted to go the 2-turn. Her 2-turn efforts haven't been up to par. And then the Santa Monica at Santa Anita, 7 furlongs, 4th of February. She finished 2nd by 1.25 lengths that day. She stalked. She had the lead. She got caught late, but she ran her heart out that day behind a decent mare. And then the La Brea at Santa Anita on Boxing Day, right after Christmas. She finished 2nd by 3/4 length behind the winner that day. She's a little bit wide, but she was closing up well late. Ideally she would want a 1-turn mile like you would see here in New York or in Kentucky. But, she's always, I think with a strong pace, she could get the trip to win. If she could run that race like she ran in Del Mar in the summer of 2022 or in the early autumn of 2022, she could win against these horses. Even the place behind Midnight Memories at Santa Anita can win against, at Santa Anita, and Zenyatta can win against these horses. I'll give this horse a ticket at 3-1. I think his second likeliest winner here is the 2-horse Etta for Bob Baffert and Juan Hernandez. Most recently in an allowance for Santa Anita going 6.5 in late April. First off the just over 14-month or just under the 14-month refreshing, she won by a head. Came back with an 84 buyer. She was a little bit drifting that day, but she got the job done. Prior to that, in the Santa Jezebel, she won by length in the spring of 2022, and again she took off clear. And then she won the Starlet Stakes here, gaming it out that day, and as a 2-year-old here in the winter of 2021. She's a good horse. She should like the sprinting trip. It wouldn't surprise me at 5-2. We'll use her in the pick 4 to end it off. But to recount my selection for the ninth from Los Al, it's Great Lady M. Gonna take the 7-horse Wake at Midnight. Give kudos to the 2-horse Ada. 7-2-8-1 super. 7-2 in your multi-race. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.